Dr. Doreen 𝗟𝗓𝗓 is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen 𝗟𝗓𝗓.
Dr. 𝗟𝗓𝗓.
Dr. Doreen 𝗟𝗓𝗓.
Dr. Doreen 𝗟𝗓𝗓 is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. My 10-year-old is nonverbal. He loves to paint and wants to do it all the time. I feel like we should just let him paint. Mm-hmm. My husband, and she says, maybe this is the whole purpose in life. My husband doesn't agree. He wants our son to spend his days in therapy and classrooms learning how to communicate on an iPad and tie his shoes and do math. Mm-hmm. I love that those are the examples that she gives. Yeah. She says, all that does is frustrate our son. Not agreeing is affecting our marriage.
Right.
I told my husband I would be willing to hear what your expert opinion is. So there we go.
That's great.
Yeah, and I can't think of anybody better to answer this question.
Well, first of all, thank you for including us in the debate, because this is it's meaningful for us. I hate to say it, but I think there's got to be a balance. And with everything else in life, there's got to be a balance. And what if your son was allowed to paint all day and did not learn things as basic as, let's say, tying his shoes, he would always be dependent on others. And I think that it becomes really important, especially when our kids are younger, that we look at their future and we start looking into kind of what are the things I need my child to know so that they have as much of an independent future as possible. It's all about that, right? Independence and thriving. And so, while I'm not sure, depending on your son's strengths and weaknesses, I don't know if math is going to be something that's useful to him in the future. It very well could be, but tying his shoes most probably is. Mm-hmm. Daily living stuff is probably going to be very important for him. Taking care of his own needs, adaptive skills, things that will help him survive are going to be important, especially communication. Because while now, and I don't know if they set the age of 10, right? So what happens is, when our kids are like 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever, we do as much as we can for them. We are there to take care of their needs. And in some ways, it's a wonderful thing. And in some ways, it's enabling them to not learn the skills that they need in order to function independently. So I think it's more important to have some balance, just because for your child, it'll be important for him to be able to have a good life, especially when you're not there. Communication is a big, big, big part of this, because as our kids get older, if they don't know how to communicate appropriately, if they haven't learned those ways, whether it's using icons or signs or vocal, whatever the form is, if they don't know how to do that, they will start to communicate. They'll get frustrated and they'll communicate through aggressive or assertive behaviors, which are not then going to be acceptable in society. So I think it's really important to teach those kind of more basic core skills that help us survive and actually thrive in life.
Yeah, my first thought was, what happens when he wants more blue paint?
Mm-hmm.
Like how is he able to request, I need a fan paintbrush?
Yeah.
How do I want cerulean blue, not azure blue.
Yeah.
That I think I think of all the clients that I've seen you with over the year, and how you foster that creativity, and how you use their desire to want to be creative to learn things that are important to them.
Definitely.
But I think it's too much of one thing. I love that you said, I'm sorry to say this, but I think there's got to be immediate. I love that, because too much of one thing, I don't want them to stop fostering the painting.
Right.
But I don't want them to stop giving him the ability at least to communicate. I'm with you on the math. Throw the math away.
It's balance, though. It's all about balance, right? It's balance in our own lives as well. Like, this is one of the things my dad taught me, which is it's all about the middle, right? It's not about one extreme or another. It's about balance, because if you don't have balance, eventually it's going to hit you, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
And so I love that he's into painting, because you now have not just the medium through which he can express himself, but a rewarding activity. And there's a lot of research that shows that individuals on the spectrum have very little leisure activity that they enjoy, mainly because we forget that side, right? And I love that you have that side, maintain that for sure. But that is just like your life, we have to get up, we have to go to work, we have to go to the supermarket, we have to clean our house, we have to take care of others, we have to feed the animals, whatever it is. These are things that are not necessarily leisure activities, but we do them. And then when we have the leisure activities, they're more enjoyable, they're very rewarding, and they balance us out. And I think that's what it's all about. Also, leisure activities, honestly, Shannon, after a while, don't have an enjoyable side if they're all the time.
Yeah.
Like we satiate on things if we have access to them all the time.
Absolutely. Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We hope to see you there.